Hey guys, first Regardsman here, and I'll be talking about a max damage Salamander's Power Sword build for the Bulwark class in Space Marine 2. And now, this is the brand new Heroic Power Sword. Everybody loves this thing these days. It is a super strong option. The Heroic perk effect down here is called Nocturne's Retort, perfect parry to empower the blade, and deal 300% more damage to the next light attack in speed style, and hold up to 6 empower stacks. The parry window is smaller, so the way this works is you get 3 empower stacks per perfect parry. On the next light attack, you will use 1 stack of your empower per light attack until you run out. So that 300% buff here is super strong, and getting 3 stacks per perfect parry, that is incredible. And today we're building around pure damage, so we'll be using stuff like Shock and Awe for bonus damage in shock areas, and taking stuff like Emergency Countermeasure to get those shock nades out. Now, as far as the perk tree on the Salamander's Power Sword is concerned, this is the best setup overall currently. Starting with the perk Armored Strength. If you have armor remaining, melee damage increases by 10%. Moving here into the perk Master of Offense, after you switch your sword combat style, you will deal 20% more melee damage for 5 seconds. Cooldown is 10 seconds. So this may seem counterintuitive initially because you're like, oh, I want my speed style for Nocturne's Retort. But the thing about the Power Sword is you will be swapping stances no matter what in this game, because you can actually swap your sword combat style in the middle of a jump animation or a dodge animation if you just hold down your melee button. So really easy to swap back and forth into lunging attacks to get your full damage off. It also triggers this perk effect. Next perk here is Perpetual Strength, and down here to Perpetual Strength. And now we do skip over Momentum Gain because this perk is not strong at all. The 30% here is like deceptively bad because you are giving up a far better perk row down here with Perpetual Strength and Melee Onslaught, and also the damage calculation here is just not good at all, and you're actually getting more damage on your initial combo with 3 stacks of Empower here on Nocturne's Retort by just taking Melee Onslaught for the 10% buff, and Perpetual Strength down here for another 5% buff, instead of trying to build up to momentum gains like 30%, which pretty much never happens outside like maybe some boss instances, and this also buffs up all of your other attacks as well. Next perk here is Hard Target. While performing a light combo, you will take 15% less range damage. This is a perfect perk for this weapon because we're all about those light attacks. And the next perk here is, of course, Cutting Edge. Power Rate deals 50% more melee damage because even on a speed style weapon like this perk is just too good to not take, and Ruling Blow is shit. Next perk here is Extremis Slayer, up here into Majora Slayer, and the final perks here are Terminus Slayer and Speed Restoration, because double CHP recovery in your speed style is actually pretty good on this one because you will definitely be using that more often. And one more thing about the Power Sword is that your light combos have progressively more damage per hit the further you get into the combo for like those first 3 or 4 hits, which is actually way stronger than it sounds initially, so this weapon here is actually pretty damn good. Now, as far as the secondary is concerned, I do take the newly buffed Honorific Relic Bolt Pistol. This got a 15% base damage buff this patch, and I have to say I think this is probably the best in slot bolt option at the moment, besides maybe the Heroic Heavy Bolt Pistol, because this thing's damage is very strong. The actual gun strike damage here is equivalent to a Firepower Heavy Bolt Pistol, and on top of that, you also have perk effects here like Elite Hunter that give you a 50% headshot damage buff for 10 seconds after you kill a Majoris in a melee execute, and that is super strong with the base damage increase. And you can also trigger perk effects on things like Sniper with the Burst Fire very easily. So overall, this weapon is super strong right now and definitely a contender for a top secondary in the game. Now, for the perk tree, it's pretty standard. I take Perpetual Precision first, and moving here to the perk Headhunter. Then I pick up the perk here, Gunstrike Reload, increase capacity, Headhunter again, Elite Hunter into Headhunter again, down to Extended Magazine, and the perk here, Divine Might. Now, if you want more damage potential on this, you can actually go down here for Retaliation, and this will give you a 25% buff for 10 seconds on a perfect dodge. This can actually bring your damage up overall to be a bit higher than the top tree, but this is also conditional, and this one is not. So that's really up to you, but that's all there is for the secondary. Now, for the Bulwark perk tree here, we just go for full damage, starting off with Intimidating Aura first. A Perfect Time Parry deals AoE damage in a 5-meter radius. The cooldown is 5 seconds. This perk is so good. I really cannot think of a single Bulwark build I don't want this on, especially on a fencing option, because even though this weapon has a block parry window in terms of active frames, Having a 0 frame startup into Intimidating Aura to just get free damage off of this AoE effect is just too good to not take, and especially for a max damage build, you always pick this up. Next perk here is Shock and Awe. Enemies in the shock area take 25% more damage. This is mainly to pair over here with the Emergency Countermeasure, where on Armor Break, we will get a shock grenade automatically detonated at our position with a cooldown of 45 seconds. So this is really the only shock effect you need here. I know some people like defensive advantage. This perk kind of sucks. You're giving up a ton for this option compared to this, because this is the column with like your two best damage reduction perks with Armor Reinforcement and Seal Within, and giving up one of these is really sacrificing a ton of survivability on the Bulwark class, because at that point you are only left with your 30% HP increase and like Focus Restoration, or maybe even just Advanced Conditioning in your banner, and a 30-second cooldown here for a 5-second Shocknade effect is just not very powerful. And also this one here, back in patch 11, they made it so the cooldown went from 90 to 45 seconds, which has made this way more effective, and this is a proper shock nade, so this one will last much longer than the 5-second duration here. So overall, this is the more valuable pick, but if you really want to take both, you can. Next perk here is Focus Restoration. Every 30 seconds, all team members automatically restore one armor segment. This is just the best team perk on Bulwark. This will damage cap against all melee attacks in the game, even bosses, which is incredible. It also helps you damage cap against ranged attacks, so armor regen Space Marine 2 is just that strong. Definitely pick this up. Next perk here is Purity of Purpose. The banner deals damage over time to enemies with this area of effect. This is just another shock nade on your banner. Unfortunately, this one does not trigger the shock and awe effect, but it's still really good for that damage over time, especially with the next perk here, Glory's Shield. All team members in the banner's area of effect take 20% less damage, and the banner lasts 20% longer. I really like this perk. I know most people prefer Invigorating Icon. You can definitely take this, but in my opinion, more banners is more fun, and a longer lasting banner means more value out of perks like Purity of Purpose, and stuff like Inspiration if you want that too. And now, Concussive Force is a very powerful perk in Space Marine 2. Unfortunately, our base strength on the Fencing Power Sword is not very high, and those power stacks don't affect this at all. So I think these two are by far the best picks. Next perk here is a Merciless Resolve. After a Shield Bash, Shield Rush, or Thunder Hammer Pommel Smash, melee damage increases by 15%. You don't lose control for heavy hits and cannot be knocked back for 10 seconds. We mainly take this for the no knockback, but that 15% damage buff here is also very nice. Next perk here is, of course, Emergency Countermeasure, and that's all there is for the main perk tree. Now, for the prestige perk options, I would pretty much always take Resilience, Overcharge, and Powerful Shot in this build. The final perk is up to you. Emboldened Stand sucks, but Masterful Defense, Standard Bearer, Auxiliary Reload, they're all pretty good for different reasons. I would say if you're not fighting Chaos, Masterful Defense is definitely less valuable because you don't have as much range spam at you, but this is still good against Tyranids, just not like, you know, as powerful as it would be versus a minigun Terminator, for example. And that's pretty much all there is for this build, guys. I mean, the Salamander's Power Sword is just super fun to use. The 7+ speed here makes this weapon feel super fluid, and I was already a pretty big fan of like the play style of a fencing power sword. The only thing I didn't like about this was the lack of damage, but this has circumvented that entirely with this heroic perk effect, and it's one of the best power swords in the entire game, if not the best power sword. And that is all I have to say in this one, guys. Hopefully this build guide helped you, and if you like content like this, subscribe for more. If you want to watch me live to ask you questions about the game, or just come hang out, you can find me here on YouTube or on Twitch with a link in the video description. I'll also have a link to my community Discord. And as always, thank you for watching. Take it easy. Bye. I love how fast some of these Minotaurus executes are in this class, or this weapon. Alright, let's bust up our old shot damage here. This weapon actually does a lot right now.
Stay alert. Behold the supremacy of hope. Fresh magazine. Go fine.
Why 0 frame startup parries are so much better than like. I'd rather have a shorter window on a 0 frame startup than a super long window with a negative startup with the panels. FTG, hope your day is going well, man. Thanks, fast consumer. Hope your day is powerful. Powerful day, dude. We love powerful days. I don't know what that means, but yeah. We're doubling up on our AoE. Now, I've been a power sword enjoyer for a very long time in this game, so having a new epic one just puts a smile on my face. It's powerful, alright? It's a laundry day, dude. You think a guy with 5,000 hours in Space Marine 2 has ever heard of laundry day?
This locus gives us a tactical advantage.
A lift station lies just ahead, Meridian. Considering the Dragon's presence is incidental to our objective, utilize the lift to reroute closer to Metrian's keep.
Understood, Nikos. The lift is within our sights.
Is Vanguard really that bad in comparison to everyone else? Yeah. Not a very strong class right now by comparison. He's pretty good. Like, I mean, his power level's still above what all the classes were at launch, dramatically.
Perplexing. I have transmitted no authorizations.
Ow. That's why I hate this map, by the way. Or this is a section of the map I hate for that reason.
Transport lift status.
Does that shit to you?
Begins, ceases, begins.
We gotta release a video, you find chaos for new turn. I actually have that Salamander one. I actually have 2 coming. Here we go. Actually a pretty convenient one. Yeah, I gotta say, Dark Krakens, the Salamanders, their successor chapters may have been cooking with the idea, no pun intended, they may have been cooking with the idea of like purple on a red burn. That looks cool. I like that.
Ignoel Metrian welcomes you to Longinus Gamma Bioresearch Facility. Please do not disturb the lift. It would be a waste. I have no music to play while you descend. Use the silence to contemplate your future.
Will the community update be this month? Yes. It will be. End of the month. So we're going to see the roadmap and all that. The Focus community managers already said they've seen the roadmap.
The servo skull is enslaved to an unknown master.
So it's already done. Which is to be expected, since I imagine everything about that patch is already.
It changes nothing.
Place your faith in Magos Gallio.
A suggestion: abandon Gallio's misguided vendetta against the Magos biologists. You know what Gallio and Metrian achieved in the past. Ask about Project Theta 6 if you ever Were I bothered by the servo skill's incessant taunts and shooting myself?
The Tyranid is system. Tyranid bio. Watch what's nothing about that servo skull set. The servo skull is of little concern to the objective.
Maybe I should have taken Auxiliary Reload to a hard strat here. With a coordinated call it or summoner. I'd love to aim over here. The Gene Suit.
This shall be the
Righteous Wing is a beacon to the Tyranids.
Patch it's gonna be a massive patch, that it will be. Or they said it's gonna be equivalent to like patch 12 and patch 13. This was a small one. Will it be as big as patch 10? We'll see. Imagine so.
This galaxy is the door.
I'm sure some of the heroic cosmetics in patch 14 are gonna, patch 15 are gonna be though.
Our glorious blood strengthens our
Oh, I guess I do actually have a golden stand on. Interesting. Okay. Cool. That was quite the combo there. The best team count this week is hard strat, and this week we've done very hard at all, or correctly. Plays whatever you want. Okay, we're grabbing the shotgun here.
equipment found.
I say the new heroic bolt pistol buffs, those feel good in this game. Big fan.
No tribal shall compromise our objective. Before the day's end, it shall die at our hands.
I was worried you had fallen victim to Metrium's mastery of malphonic disruptive frequencies, but now the uncomfortable sensation associated with relief cools my remaining skin. Be warned, Viridian. Metrium cannot hope to stand against you alone, so she will lie and stall in hope the Xenos swarm will devour you. Case in point, she has enslaved that servo skull as a crude mouthpiece. But give her word zero credibility for the mission's sake. And your own.
Need borrower incoming.
This is Magos Gallia.
Where the Trigon burrows, the sword follows.
Each other.
Statis. The facility is well stocked in mining gear. Requisition melter charges to eradicate the tunnels and halt the infestation.
Find the melter ordnance with dispatch.
Delta storage X0110.
Cleanse those Xenos passages. The passages are purified.
Your brothers think you are the weakest among
That was the last one over here. Okay. We can grab the Sanctified Wrath here after.
The melter charge acquired.
This melter charge is in.
Xenos writhe and burn in their own
Oh, it's gone.
trench.
Fine.
Keep scanning for signs of the Trigon.
I will use restorative stims. I don't feel like randomly dying to a Rage Devourer here. Yeah. That's why. God, dude, look how much damage these fuckers do. Oh, we took that.
Intimidates violence.
Fair and balanced. So yeah, and range enemies are super fun.
Cowering in her data enclave.
Gallia, old friend of mine. If you missed our binaric discourses, you could have sent communication. I observe you still pathetically cling to views of soft tissue. Remember, meat lacks efficiency, whereas metallic alloys stay in corrosion and degradation for far longer.
How far you have fallen. I must drag you back into the light.
People undervalue Sanctified Wrath. They definitely do. It's actually a very good effect these days. Speak of the devil.
Three meat lackeys seems like overkill, Gallia. You think too highly of me. These poor, inert variables shall perish here, devoured by the Tyranids. And you do not care.
Mitrium shut down power to the uplink terminals. You must resupply the generator with a backup power cell. She hopes the Tyranids will annihilate you, but she underestimates the second coming.
Beseech you, Gallia.
Search the area for a
Witness to
power
the
cell.
summation of our divine arithmetic from long ago.
Who had
Remember
eyes on a power
Project
cell?
Zeta 6?
How convenient would it be if it's right
As
over
my
here?
theorems predicted, your life vector has converged with renegade factors, and Zeta 6 was a waste of computational resources and one perfectly good Grux. Surrender
for the
now,
run.
and perhaps leniency can be
Oh, wait,
granted.
in here.
After the might rules, of course.
You are a redundant functionary. Your Astartes shall die here, alone, in the dark.
Fail that focus.
Down there, I think it was a tier 1. Salamander in my chat. It says Enraged Devourer equals the Diddy of Hollywood celebrities. Well, isn't that just Diddy?
Unwavering, despite the grip of vanity.
The Michael Jordan of NBA players. Yes, the floor is floor.
Inserting rounds. This power cell has some charge.
Power cells will restore the functionality of the generators.
Light and darkness. How easily flesh parts deceive their perception.
Disrupt her attempts to connect with our facility's network. Mitrium will seize any opportunity to damage crucial data, which would deem this mission a failure. Do not let her connect to the consoles.
Disconnect the cowering Texas from her cradle of wires.
Do we know mods are coming to consoles? Year 3.
Backups
Maybe.
of backups, and I
Maybe at the
degrade
launch of the
not
anniversary patch, but I don't know.
have already fallen.
Dig in and defend.
Hey guys, patch 14 is patch 15 is next month. Probably like almost exactly a month at this point.
See, Michigan, the more you thrash, the deeper you set up.
Freak the brain.
These tendrils from Astartes' flesh have accomplished nothing, Galio. My machinations are already
Brandon Daniels
achieving
never joined the
results.
Adeptus Astartes.
You are fools, peasants. Silence, Michigan. Meridian, confirm possession of her quivering mass of computational gray matter.
The asset does not seem to have anything left to say.
Pilot, Meridian is ready for
Yeah, guys, those by the end of this game's life cycle, tier listing every heroic weapon with melee weapons is gonna take like 50 minutes, like a dark type tier list.
Execute that one. Let them summon aid. Enemy reserves me. Prepare to strike them down. Fireball has been stopped. This galaxy is the door to power. Our adversary wishes to renew their assault. Deny them any advance. Fire on those mines. That Shiva is living artillery. Exterminate. The gun beast is down.
You know, that Spore Mine Devourer staircase, that's the kind of staircase your dad wakes you up to go carry shit inside at like 5 a.m. on a Sunday on. It's like, I need to hold outside for a second, it's just like a bunch of Spore Mines in this way Devourer. Same feeling, really. Actually, you play Halo Combat Evolved or any interest in it? I do have interest in it. Unfortunately, it dropped at the same time as this, but Pank and I were supposed to play that. We were playing Halo Reach. We were playing Halo Firefight for a bit before it came out, and we had plans to play. We still can. Still was, I'm sure.
That silence too is fine, kitty. Inserting rounds. Another Xenos atrocity.
The new Halo Combat Evolved a Blade of Cash Grab. Are you telling me the re-release of the game that got re-released 10 years ago is a cash grab? Say it's not so.
Crush the ravenous brood.
Trying to tell me the best Halo game in 10 years is a Halo game from 20 years ago?
Rarely do operations.
And this reminds me, you know, I think it's time to talk about what they call it. Halo 3.
Coming forward. Skittles with wings.
Of course, it's a Neurostroke, and of course, I have no ammo. Oh, wait, I'm ready. Slurp that up.
This beast never stood a chance. shall I plant this flag? You failed that ultimate. Failed. Fresh magazine.
Actually, would you run a mission with the Rogue Melta? I've only heard bad things, haven't seen anyone use it. I've played it a lot. I've played against the Vortex Beast. I've played against the, I mean, it's not really good against the Vortex Beast, the boss. I think it's probably, I think it's better than the Combi Flamer and the Deathwatch Stalker are. I don't think it's really that much worse than a normal Melta. I think people just assume they should one-shot things with it based on the charge time. The charge time can be a bit faster. I don't think I didn't rank it as high as I would rank a normal Melta, but I don't think it's that much worse. I think the Deathwatch Stalker Bolt Rifle, that shit is like straight up a nuke trap weapon. The kind of perk effect that looks good on paper, or if you're like, oh, I'm gonna support my whole team, and you're like, oh, I guess I'll support them by killing all the enemies with a better gun.
Fresh cartridge.
Will he ever land?
Watch your footing! This galaxy is not yours. Our banner awaits unfurled. Good work, brother. The chapter master will be pleased. Filthy thieves, last time. We crush the ravenous brood.
Is the siege reward bug still here? Yeah, it is. So I actually saw a post from this by the Focus community manager where they were like, it's supposed to be fixed, and someone's like, it's not fixed. Like, okay, I'll report that it's not actually fixed. But no, it's still bugged for a lot of people.
Keep going forward.
You got a spot open in your party. I'm currently playing solo mode.
I cannot land with that burrowing abomination lurking about. Deep scans have penetrated the atmospheric disturbances and Metrium's meddling code. Trigon vulnerability data pushed to your displays.
Grant this monstrosity no quarter.
Its carapace has frailties. Exploit them.
Look for an attack from above. For the Imperium of Man.
God blame, I wouldn't mind fighting in there.
Ria.
I'm pointing it with the Prime. This weapon's actually kind of fun to fight this boss with.
Locate melter charges and cauterize the high tunnels. Deploy melter. Trigon counterattack.
Is there some lag in your stream? Yeah, it's been a weird bit recently. Twitch has been fucky a bit recently. Waiting for technical help on your game? Well, I ain't a tech free, so.
Inserting rounds. Look for an attack from above. Where's my god this man?
Trigon kill confirmed.
The fun one. Is the Trigon's lightning psychic or just bioelectric? I can actually answer this question. It's bioelectric. What they do is they make these gigantic, they have this bioelectrical dome that they put around. So multiple Trigons will actually come in a brood and make like a giant electricity dome and stop artillery fire while they dig into like your fortress and stuff.